everybody, it's Keren here from tuppencecoloured.co.uk. Thank you very much for joining me today, and this is what I'm going to be making today. Stay with me and I'll show you how I made it. Here's what I'm using to make my box. I have a piece of Show What You Love Designer Series paper, and it is 3 inches by 9 inches. And I've got a piece of Pool Party card, and that is 4 inches by 9 inches. I've got some old olive sheer taffeta ribbon. I'm using this stamp set, it's called Handwritten, and I've got mint macaron ink. For the tag on the box, I've got a scrap of Pool Party, a scrap of old olive. I'm going to stamp using this stamp from the A Good Day set, which is turning into one of my favourites. I'm using old olive ink, and I've got 2 punches. I've got a 1.5 inch circle punch and a 1 3/8 inch scalloped circle. I'm scoring the DSP at 3 inches and at 6 inches on the long side, and I'm going to turn it round and I'm going to make a mark at 1.5 inches, and I'm going to go down 1.5 inches. Turn it round. Now I'm using a ruler on my scoreboard, but you could just draw a line down to the 1.5 inch mark. Okay. On the card, I'm scoring at 3 inches and again at 6 inches, and I'm scoring at 1/2 inch and at 3.5 inches. And same thing again, I'm going to put my ruler at 1.5 inches from the top and come down at 2 inches. That's the middle. Yep, that's right. Have to think about that one for a minute. And same thing on this side. Put my ruler at 1.5 inches, and I'm going to come down from the 2 inch mark. I've put my scoreboard away, but I've hung on to my stylus because now I'm going to be making these diagonal score lines. So I'm going to be joining that point to these corners and that point to these fold lines. And I've got my silicone mat underneath so that my stylus has something to press into. Okay, so I've done that one, and I'm going to go and do the same there, and I'm going to go and do the same here. Before I go any further with this piece of card, I want to do some stamping on it because it's a little bit plain as it is, and of course you could leave it plain. So I've got my my background stamp, which I can't remember, handwritten. Before I go any further with this piece of card, I want to do some stamping on it because it's a little bit plain as it is, and of course you could leave it plain, it's entirely up to you, but I want to have a little bit of a pattern. So I've got my big background handwritten stamp here, and I'm just going to mask off that central panel. Again, that is optional. I'm just using a post-it note, which conveniently enough happens to be exactly the right size, and I'm just going to ink up my great big stamp here. Now, because this is a massive big background stamp, I like to keep my stamp on the table, and I bring my project to it. So that looks good to me, and I'm just going to rub over the back of my piece of card. And if it goes wrong, I'll just flip it over and use the other side. But I'll do again. side. There you go. Next, I'm going to trim away the bits I don't want. So I'm going to make a little angle cut there and an angle cut there, and I'm going to snip away this piece, and the same thing on the opposite side. So little angle there, little angle there, and snip away. And while I'm at it, I'll just take little angle cuts out of those corners as well. And clear away the rubbish, and this is the shape I'm left with. And now I'm going to burnish the rest of the folds. And you have to kind of play with this a little bit to get it to do what you want it to. And also on the paper. I have my tear and tape on these 4 panels, and I've also put some on this middle panel, and now I'm ready to start to put my 2 pieces together. So I'm just going to remove the backing from this piece, and I'm going to bring in my other piece, and I'm just going to line it up as carefully as I can. Give that a rub down. Okay, so now I have this sort of shape going on, and now I'm going to take the backing off my other pieces of tear and tape along here, and I'm going to raise up my panels and join them together carefully, like that, and give it a bit of a press. Now I have this sort of shape, so now I want to kind of train it into the shape that I want it to be, which is like that. There we go. I've got a 1/8 of an inch handheld. I've got a 1/8 of an inch handheld punch here, and I'm going to punch some holes just to the one side, just to that side of my fold line, and I'm going to do the same here. Down if I can get my punch in. Yeah. I'm trying to keep them reasonably level. Okay, this one's going to be a toughie because I'm going through 2 layers. And I'm just going to work my way around, just punching my holes, just sort of by eye really. I have a notification, jolly good. So now I'm going to take take my ribbon and I'm going to thread it through the holes. I've got my stamp mounted onto my clear block, and I've got my old olive ink, and I'm just going to ink up my stamp with lots and lots of light tapping, and I like to bring the stamp to the pad. Plonk that down onto my piece of Pool Party, and I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm very happy with the way that that has come out. 1 3/8 of an inch scallop circle punch, and I'm lining this up with my stamped image, just taking a little bit of time over it. And when I'm happy with the placement, which I am now, almost, just going to punch that out. I'm going to punch a 1.5 inch circle out of the old olive. I'm just going to close up my stamp pad before I put my thumb in it again. And as you can see, I have managed to catch myself, but no problem, because I have this, which is my stamping chamois, which is meant for cleaning stamps. And it does, as you can see, it does a really, really super good job. You just keep it wet with a bit of water. But it's also very good for cleaning up Kerens. So there you go. And yeah, it will stain. Okay. Afterwards, I'll take this to the sink and I will wring it through. And it will stain. You can see I've been using it on other stamps. But that doesn't matter, because it will carry on keeping your stamps clean. And that is what it is there for. And it's something that's in our new catalogue coming in June. Not long to wait now. Look out for that one. I'm going to start by punching a hole into this one, because I'm not 100% sure how well this punch will go through 2 pieces of card. So whereabouts do I want that? Right about there. What about there? No, too far. Okay. So now I'm going to mount that onto my base card. As you can see, I've already been stamping on the back of this piece. There's a little piece I was testing out colour on. Okay, so I'm just going to line those 2 up. And I've got a little bit of space on the back to write my name. So this is from me to you. And I've got a tag. So I've got another little piece of old olive ribbon here. And I'm going to thread that through. From the back to the front. Wish I hadn't put my tweezers away, never mind. So here is my tag. So I'm going to thread it on to my ribbon here. Come in. Come on. There you go. And I'm going to tie that into place with just a knot. Just like that. And then I'm going to re-tie my gift bag. Nice and tight now. Make sure everything goes into place. Put it all nice and tight. And I'm going to tie my bow. And as I do, I'm going to tuck my ends in here and here so they get caught into the bow. Like that. Okay, and I wind up with lots and lots of ribbon ends. And there it is. So there it is. There is my my finished fancy angle box. And yeah, what would you put in there? I'm thinking jewellery. I think a bracelet would fit in there nicely. What would you put in there? Well, that is it for today. Thank you very much for joining me, and I would love it if you came back and saw me again soon. But for now, bye bye.